I finally decided to share a piece of my stories that I have never shared before with anyone. Actually, I kind of erased it from my memory. We've all had moments in our lives when we felt sad or unhappy, or when we made someone dear feel sad or unhappy, and we all prefer to forget about that. Am I right? And it's exactly about such a moment that I want to talk today. It happened 20 years ago, and it came to my mind only a few months ago. I had to write about my why. Why do I do what I do? And I had to delve deeper in my past to understand what pushed me to specialize in Indian weddings, why I made the choice. And suddenly everything was clear to me. I had a crystal clear picture of what happened 20 years ago, and I got my why. And today I want to share it with you because I think it's important to understand what drives a person whom you could potentially entrust the most important event of your life, your destination wedding in Italy. So what happened 20 years ago? I got married. Yeah, it has been 20 years already. Time flies, isn't it true? I had been living in Italy for some years at that time, and my husband is Italian. I always wished I was born in Italy, and at that time I was young and so excited to live in Italy in my place that I wanted nothing but Italian for my wedding. But I didn't consider my parents and a few other guests coming to my wedding who weren't experienced with Italian weddings and were expecting that mine was going to be similar to the ones of my native country. I'm from Belarus, ex-Soviet Union Republic. We have very festive celebrations with a lot of dancing, games, toast, music, all those things that make a wedding a bash. Actually, there are many things similar to Indian weddings, such as stealing a shoe, or the groom going through challenges imposed by the bride's side, or dancing during the dinner and not after, and many others. Italian weddings instead are all about eating, about the food. In the last few years, things have been changing, but in many places in Italy, it's still that way. Let alone 20 years ago. It could even be a band playing and no one dancing, and sometimes you just have background music, especially if the wedding is at lunchtime, as it was for my wedding. Don't misunderstand me, it was a nice wedding, nothing funny, but we had a lovely place with a view of green hills, and we had a great food, of course. At some point of the wedding lunch, my parents asked me why no one was saying toast and when were we supposed to dance or have some entertainment. And I said that we weren't going to have none of that. A few minutes after, my parents stood up, asked to speak, and proposed a toast. And when they sat down, I noticed tears on my mother's face. And I felt incredibly guilty for not having considered the culture and traditions of my parents, for not having respected them. I wasn't planning weddings at that time, and I had no idea that some years after I would have started too. At that time, I just replicated what I saw at the Italian weddings I attended, and it looked very normal to me. But now I understand that no one deserves a replica of the wedding of someone else, a standard package which doesn't reflect the personalities and the background of the bride and groom. And especially that the culture, the tradition, the bond with the origins are at the base of authentic celebrations, which cannot be planned without knowing these traditions inside out. No mother should cry at her daughter's wedding, and no couple deserves to adapt their wedding to the customs of a different country and renounce their authentic event just because they're having a destination wedding. And when I had the chance to plan my first Indian wedding, I didn't approach it as just one of the weddings I was planning before. Instead, I learned a lot about Indian traditions, about Indian wedding rituals, about many aspects of Indian culture to make sure I was able to deliver an authentic wedding that first couple had in mind. Being myself a destination bride and with such a different background, I immediately understood that that was going to be a completely diverse celebration. And I dedicated time and effort to studying, and I was so pleased to be welcomed by the families of the bride and groom as their family member, as just one of them. And it's at that first Indian wedding that I understood that planning Indian weddings was what I really wanted to do. This is my why. This is the reason for Best Indian Weddings Italy, the first and only planning agency in Italy specialized in Indian weddings that I found in 2017. We all have to make choices in our lives, and we can choose the way to go. I chose authenticity, respect, and deep knowledge of the things I deal with. These are my values. And if you share these values, then please leave your comments in the box below. It will definitely make my day. Thank you for watching me until the end. It wasn't easy to talk about such private things. And if you feel you need a planner who understands your culture, who understands your needs, and is able to plan for you an authentic Indian celebration, then drop me a message, set a call, and I will be happy to meet you and to talk about your wedding plans. Have a fantastic day.